Hello people. Today I'm going to talk about kitchen one-arm hacks. Working in the kitchen with one arm is extremely tedious and can be very frustrating at times. So I'm just going to talk about a handful of little hacks that I have come up with that may help one-arm people or people that have an injury to their arm or stroke patients, whatever it may be. So the first item that I'm going to discuss is actually a big item that is something that I do every single day. It's the little clips that come on bread products. These little tiny clips that come on the bread products. They are really frustrating to work with. So taking them off is usually not a problem. Sometimes it is, but sometimes not. Just taking it off. The closing the bread product up, obviously I like this bread, so the closing it up, back up, which I can turn it, and then trying to put the clip back on, especially if you don't have this residual limb or you can't move your shoulder or anything at all and you have nothing to work with, putting this clip back on is really difficult. It's next to impossible. So I never reuse these. They are so frustrating, so I never reuse them. The dollar store has these little clips, or Walmart, wherever, little discount stores. They have, I like the wood ones. They have plastic ones as well, but I prefer the wood ones. And you just clip it back on. It's so much easier than reusing these clips. So I definitely prefer that, and it keeps it fresher, and your bread will last a lot longer. So definitely a must. I have hundreds of these all throughout my kitchen. The other thing too is like Ziploc bags. I find are absolute nuisance for one-handed people. I think I've discussed that before, because you have to use your mouth oftentimes, and you don't know if there's like raw meat on it, and that can be really dangerous. So I try not to use Ziploc bags too often, and actually that's really good for the environment. So using these clips instead of the Ziploc bags is very, very helpful. So I highly recommend, if you're a one-arm person or you're having an injury or whatever, highly recommend that you switch over to these clips. You cannot have enough of them because they disappear throughout your kitchen. Same with scissors. Scissors disappear too, like crazy. So the next item that I'm going to talk about is this little gadget here. It's an egg slicer. I got it from IKEA. First of all, IKEA is not sponsoring me, but I'm telling you, IKEA has so many little gadgets. I think I've mentioned this before too. But this little egg slicer is not only handy for the obvious, hard-boiled eggs, but you can actually use this for many other items like slicing cheese. Because it actually has the same mechanism, like the metal prongs here, as a cheese slicer. So just have someone slice like a big chunk of cheese for you, place it on here, and slice it. It works amazing for slicing cheese. So highly recommend. Just a couple of dollars from IKEA. The other item I got from IKEA that I really like is the apple slicer. It's very sharp, these little metal things, so be careful. Very inexpensive. You just have the apple cut in half, and like half an apple, or you could do it with a whole apple, but I don't seem to have enough strength to put the whole apple on here and slice through it, but it can be done. But I usually do like a half an apple and put it through. Another product that I got from a dollar store, as a one-handed person, when you're making hamburger patties, turkey patties, veggie patties, whatever it may be, actually forming the patties are pretty difficult with one hand. So investing in one of these little patty press things to give it its shape, definitely recommend. But this was from the dollar store. Next item I want to talk about is, of course, every one-armed person needs to have this, and if you're a wine drinker or you have guests over that drink wine, I actually store this in my cabinet because I don't really drink wine too often, but if I am going to crack open a bottle of wine, this is something I take out, and it is battery, actually no, you charge it up, and I think I charged this yesterday. It works like this, and it pulls the cork out. You just hold the bottle in between your legs and pull the cork out. It's an amazing tool, because if you don't have that, you're going to have to use something like this corkscrew opener, which I've done before with one arm, but struggle, and I think I've gotten like pieces of the cork stuck in the wine. Don't recommend. So I recommend that you invest in one of these. This is Food Network. It was a gift given to me a while back, and well worth it just to have in your cabinet. So Food Network, they have so many different brands. I think at Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, you can pick it up any place, and I think they're relatively like 20 bucks or something like that. The next item is a definite must for one-handed people. Now I got this many years ago. I think even before I even had breast cancer. I got this 20-something years ago, and this one is the Pampered Chef, and I've never had it sharpened, and I still use it today. It's pretty beat up, and it's pretty dull by now, and I probably could get it sharpened and it would work just fine, but in replacement of that, I've had someone pick me up a new one. It's the Good Cook, and you can pick it up at any grocery store, but having a chopper in the house as a one-armed person, or you have to have it. It's a necessity. I mean, chopping vegetables, fruit, it's like it's really difficult and actually very dangerous. So Pampered Chef, again, over 20 years, probably close to 25 years. I think I paid $20 for it. So worth the investment. Lasts a long time. So, but in the meantime, grocery store has them for like $7, $10. Also, what I oftentimes do is if I'm like running behind and I don't have time to chop vegetables and it's not that expensive, oftentimes the stores now have all the vegetables pre-cut, and I know a lot of people like to buy organic, which I totally get, but if you're not buying organic, a lot of vegetables are already chopped, which is a really nice option, that you can just pick up a bag of celery chopped or all your vegetables chopped. I have done that before, but it's a little bit more expensive, and again, it's harder to buy organic fruits and vegetables like that, so that's a little difficult. The other thing you have to have is a bagel slicer. This is definitely a must. This one I don't really recommend because it's a little bulky, and in order to move it, you have to like pick up both pieces, which kind of helps to have two arms to do that. But the blade is incredibly sharp, so that's good. And it does the job, but it's a little bulky. I got it on Amazon, and I don't even know what the brand is. It's like Bagel Biter, something like that. But I mean, it works really great, but it's a little bulky for me to actually move it. I have to, it's sharp even up top, right here, and in order to move it, I have to like grab on both pieces, and it's kind of scared me a couple times. I've almost dropped this part on my foot moving it, so definitely recommend a bagel slicer, but I'm not sure about this one in particular because again, it's a little bulky. The other thing, which I know most people don't even know what these are, and most people, if you're in the medical profession, you know, but these are called Kelly clamps, and they're not scissors. They're actually like surgical clamps, and I have these from a lifetime ago when I worked as a nurse to clamp different things like catheters and so on and so forth. And you can get them at like any medical supply place, but I'm telling you, as a one-armed person, these things are a lifesaver. I don't know about anybody else, even if you have two arms, but opening up different beverages like Gatorade, like the sport bottles, or opening up the top of a cream cheese or sour cream, or different things like that, like the protective cover on the top, or even just like the plastic on the outside, is so difficult, and you end up using your mouth, even if you have two arms. Like my daughter, she does it and she has to use her mouth. I use these are so old, but I'm telling you, I use them every single day, and most people don't even know about them. They're called Kelly clamps, surgical clamps. You can get them from any medical supply place, very inexpensive. They look like little medical scissors. And basically, you just clamp it on, like the outside of it. I wish I had a Gatorade sport bottle to show you now that wasn't open. But you just clamp it on the outside and like pull it, or just like roll, like just gently roll it. And it just, these things are, I really need more of these to have like in my car. Probably not my purse, that would look kind of dangerous, but just around, they're really, really handy to have. You can even use them as tweezers, that's how good they are. But really highly recommend any medical supply place. They're very inexpensive, and you will wonder what you did without them before. Next time you're opening up a Gatorade or any package of sour cream, cream cheese, or anything, salsa, like the plastic will get stuck on the top. It's like really frustrating. So these will definitely help you with that. Okay, so let's see. The last thing I want to talk about is lint brushes. Even though this is kind of a kitchen thing because I keep my lint brush in the kitchen, this is one of the lint brushes that was like $5, so it's like Scotch Guard or something like that, Scotch. So it's not one of the like really inexpensive ones. So it picks up really well, but the problem is with these lint brushes is that when you're going to like pull off the tape, it's really hard, especially with one arm. It's like okay, so you can actually like get to the tape, you can get the tape no problem, but when you're trying to pull it off, a lot of times it like will rip and get like stuck. I was able to do it, well, kind of. So, really frustrating. And I use lint brushes a lot, not just for clothing, but for just around the house, tidying up, like in the kitchen, if there's, you know, crumbs or just whatever. I love lint brushes. So, what I'm looking for is a bigger one of these. I picked this up a long time ago. I have two of them for watching some free promotion on steak knives in the grocery store. These were a free gift like 10 years ago, and they still work amazing. They're little lint brushes that are made of rubber and have some kind of sticky residue on them. They said that they would last 10 years, and actually it's been over 10 years. And once they get filled up with lint, you just wash them with soap and water, and all the lint goes to the end, and you just like pull it off. This is the most handiest thing to have as far as lint brushes go. The problem is that it's really small, and I end up washing them like every single day. But I can't find them anywhere bigger, and I'm always looking, and I don't know like who invented this, but I love this little gadget. So if you find these and you have a big one, please let me know in the link in the comments below. And if you see one, definitely worth getting. Really, really handy, and you don't have to worry about pulling off the stupid sticker things. Definitely recommend. So I think that's about it for today. I mean, I have a lot more kitchen things to talk about, but like I don't want to make this incredibly long and annoying, so I can talk about more another time, or if you want me to talk about other things. I know a lot of people have emailed me, and I haven't really been making videos, but if you leave me suggestions on what you actually would like to see or how I get by on a daily basis, I will be happy to make some of those videos for you. So that's about it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.